I ain't got no drink up here. What is going on? Oh, that's 5 days old. It'll have to suffice. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Monday here. I'm getting a little bit of a late start, literally just hopping out the shower and trying to figure out what's going on over at the house this morning. A lot of work's going on over there, folks, but unfortunately, we didn't get very far yesterday. And I want to share this first thing as we get up into here. First of all, a very special shout out to all of you taking the time to rock with the Bobo. Should be a really awesome Bobo we got for you guys today. A lot of things to share with you. So we can look forward to that. But the video that you guys saw yesterday was literally the video that I filmed yesterday. So as you were watching that video, that work was taking place at the house. It was a pretty busy day. I got over there yesterday morning about 9 o'clock in the morning. Maybe a little bit later, maybe like 9:30, I don't know. But I got over there about 9 something and work was going. And it was on Saturday's video where I shared that we got the foundation issues, another big setback. It is what it is. And that's going to cost what it cost. And then Sunday when I got over to the house, I learned that it was so much more cost involved in that. I negotiated it the best possible way that I could. But unfortunately, my box truck had to be traded to help alleviate some of that cost that is crazy. Folks, by the time it's all said and done, you're probably wondering, maybe some of you are, what's the grand total now? Well, safe to say we're going to be at about $80,000. 80 grand. So I don't know what 80 grand minus 35,000 is. I'd hate to know that number because it probably sounds like 45,000. That's what we've got invested in this house in terms of just the repairs. 80 grand. A couple things to address real quick, and then we're going to get into some things. Man, shout out to you guys on yesterday's video. I had a little come to Jesus moment on that video and really just had to eat my feelings a little bit and say, man, you guys have been killing me in the comments section. People, maybe they're valid comments, maybe some of them aren't, but it is what it is. So in yesterday's video, I really wanted to address the fact that, look, I get it. Made a lot of mistakes. There's still mistakes that we are running across. Hell, I didn't even show you any more mistakes yesterday. You guys want the truth? Well, here's the things that I didn't show you. The vanity for the bathroom, fucking destroyed. I showed that originally when we looked at it when I had the dudes in there doing the drywall and plaster work originally, the two young guys. How it got a couple of nicks in it, but that was that. Everything was fine except for those nicks. Well, fast forward to, I can't remember what day it was, Friday or Saturday, my guy calls me or sends me a picture from the house. The marble top completely scratched to shit. That's another $400 down the damn drain right there. And you can't repair that. It looks like screws were left on top of the vanity and they have just gouged that marble. So that sucks. Had to tell my wife about that. Another blunder on Joe's part. My fault. It's my fault. I brought all that shit in there way too soon. Should have never had it in the house. Should have took it up out the house. So there's that. Lloyd, shout out to you with the gift subs right there. Big Dave, what's going on with your brother? Shout out to you. So there was that. And then there was also some more plumbing issues. Man, what a crazy situation it is under the house. We had some leaks. So we're getting those resolved. And then I showed you guys where the drain comes down from the shower and it's not connected. Well, that PVC on the ground under the house is tied in somewhere. I don't know where the fuck it's tied in. It's tied into some main drain line. But then from the sink, you got a drain line that comes down. And I don't know if that's connected to anything or not, but it's got some PVC on the ground. And it's got a goddamn elbow coming off of it. Like maybe they were going to tie that into the tub and they were all going to drain together. But needless to say, there's a lot of open holes in the plumbing. So we'll get there. We'll get there. Regardless, thank you guys so much for the support. I did not want to show the siding of the house, but I realized late in the day yesterday after talking with Rabbit, filming with Rabbit, that I was already showing it. So I was like, well, damn, we can't go back and refilm this. So we're going to just show the siding. And the siding is coming along really good. The house is going to be a complete 180. Somebody would email me, got no idea who this person is. I get all sorts of messages and death threats and things like that. They would message me and say, oh my God, Joe, Jesus, I know you didn't go with Dutch lap vinyl siding. Well, that's exactly what that's called, Dutch lap vinyl siding. I don't know what to tell you anymore. You know what I mean? We're not building the White House here, okay? Good Lord. So, the real Reggie says, were y'all able to get level? Fuck no. Fuck no. We got 4 20-ton jacks, and we were able to jack up a little bit. That's going on, continuing today. But the issue is, as you would probably imagine, under the house, as they begin jacking up from the center, the jacks are just sinking, no matter what they put under the jacks. So you're talking about a lot of weight that doesn't want to move, and all it's doing is pushing down into the dirt. So they were burying those jacks yesterday. I mean, we had concrete blocks up under there. We had, 2x8s up under there. So the game plan is today to get way more wide in terms of the base for what the jack is going to sit on and push that down into the earth. Why don't you? Bitch, you're going to do some lifting. We about to lift that big block. That 450 pin pal. Gypsy, hey, let me know how many people are up in here. I would greatly appreciate it. For whatever reason, my counter is not working. Jengar, hurry back, please. 290. Thank you, Sam. Welcome, welcome. So, this has been a slow-moving, agonizing process trying to get this foundation squared away, but it opened up more things that we needed to see. The plumbing for sure. Could not even imagine trying to take this to the full, take this all the way. Like, never even addressing this situation, just trying to make it level up top, never seeing those plumbing issues. We would have seen them eventually, I imagine, but Jesus, man. It's one thing after another. I got a couple of stories to share with you guys, so let's just go into it. What you didn't see on yesterday's video was yesterday morning after I got to the house and the shit show that became. So I'm going to share this with you guys, and you be the judge. So, and who knows, maybe I'm wrong about this as well. Anthony, thank you for letting me know what's going on with you, David. What's going on with your seg worker? What's going on with your man? The house is a disaster, Joe. I feel for you with this shit you've encountered with this house. You know what? It's not the house. It's the help. It's the goddamn help. And that's my fault. Yes, the house has been a disaster, but had it been done correctly from the beginning, had that foundation been addressed correctly from the beginning, we'd have been done with this a long time ago, $20,000 cheaper. And that's all on me. So I wear that. I wear that full-fledgedly. Tony, what's going on? Nemo, what's going on? Rick, shout out to you with the gift sub right there. Very thoughtful of you. Carrot Gaming, long time. Nemo says, big learning experience. Yeah. All right, so I want to share this with you guys. So yesterday I get over to the house. I'm filming. So you guys saw basically exactly what yesterday was initially. I'm filming and I'm talking about the comment section in that video. And then you see me looking at my phone, and that's my GC texting me, telling me, we got some bigger problems. Sending me pictures. I don't even want to look at the problems. So I get over to the house yesterday morning, and prior to us beginning filming, hell, when the video started, I already came back from Lowe's with the 2x8s. But as soon as I got over to the house, they got the floor, they're tearing up the floor, and they're trying to show me, hey, look, man, you got fucking bottle jacks up under the house, and that's not going to fly. And it wasn't my general contractor telling me this as much as it was his worker. Now, don't get me wrong. He's got competent workers for the most part. One guy's not very competent, but that's, what it is. So there's one guy, his number one, or his number two, whatever the fuck you call it. Me and him, like, every time I talk with this guy, I just don't like the way he talks, So he's like, hey, look, you got some bottle jacks up under the house and this shit's all fucked up. And he's getting kind of like aggressive. And I'm like, well, look, I know we've got these jacks under the house because we put them up under here and these are fine. These are good. He was like, nah, man, fuck that. You got these other jacks. You got these jacks. And I can't remember exactly what the conversation was. But I mean, I snapped on this dude. I said, yo, who the fuck do you think you are, man? Who the fuck do you think you are? And do you know who the fuck I am? I'm the goddamn owner of this goddamn house, and this is my job. It's my motherfucking money that I am fucking shelling at this bitch like a fucking lonely guy at a strip club. Bitch, you a stripper to me. I said, who the fuck are you? You better shut the fuck up. Hey, you better get your dude. You better, and then he gets all pissed off and he leaves. Fuck you. Get your jackleg workers up in here to do this work. I said, I'm going to tell you right now, talking to my general contractor, I'm going to tell you right now, you better get this motherfucker, you better rein them in. I ain't going for this. Now, as horrible as that sounds, right? Like me and this dude get to arguing immediately. As horrible as that sounds, that's pretty close to the way the conversation went, okay? Not the whole stripper thing, but I am the owner of the house. I am the one who is fucking feeding you. So you're going to show me some goddamn respect. I get it. I don't know a whole hell of a lot about this shit, okay? I'm just a fucking bank. You let anybody tell it. So, dude walks out. That adds more shit to start the morning off with. So then I get talking with my dude, and what I would end up coming to learn, and I mentioned this in the video, and this is why I mentioned this in the video, because of the fact that, yeah, Jerry, you better put some spec on that name. Better put some spec on. I'm talking about some specs. Some spectacles. I need some glasses. The dogs ate my glasses. I can no longer drive at nighttime now. Got to go back to the eye exam place. What I would end up learning after this argument, and this was, more fucking breaking news for me, was all of those jacks that we put up under the house. I mean, that was what Bay Foundation was going to do. They were just going to put jacks up under the house. Those are only temporary. Those are not supposed to be considered a permanent fix. Home inspector goes up under there and sees that, he's going to say the same goddamn thing. So, wasted a whole bunch of money on 9 jacks and Bay Foundation, and fuck them. I got to get ready to pay them. They're not a real fix. Don't matter how you do them, they're not a real fix. Unless you do them, I guess, the professional way, which Bay Foundation probably would have. I'm sure they would have, now that I think about it. But one thing that they'd never addressed, Bay Foundation, was the center line of the house. They were going to put a couple of jacks in the living room, a couple in the kitchen, a couple in the back room. We weren't even talking about the center of the house. All right? And like my general contractor has told me, because he's my homeboy Sean, he has told me, I've told you guys who he is, but I don't be putting in the videos, and you're probably tired of hearing me, say that GC shit. Travis, he says, so what's the real fix? The real fix is concrete footer, okay? You got to dig the hole, put the concrete footer in there, which is just a concrete pad. You put some quick mix of some high-velocity concrete, which takes forever to set up. And then you build up like 6x6s, and I mean, it's some thick fucking, you build these piers. That's what it is. And it can be done a number of ways. It can be done with concrete blocks. It's not the ideal way to do it. But using a metal jack that will rust from Lowe's isn't the way to do it. Because in one video, I think it was on Saturday's video, I'm looking under the house and I'm showing you guys where that jack was sitting in the water. You can already see rust on that jack. So that's not a correct fix at all. And then there's things called scabs where, look, when you got a house, your foundation is set up in such a way that every 10 or so feet, it might be even less than that, you've got some sort of a pier system. Okay, then you got your center of your house. Well, our house is only 20-something feet wide. Okay, so it's 10 or 11 feet to the center. And then it's the same on the opposite side. But with that, you've got things called scabs. And if your joists are not run correctly from your outside support to your middle, and then continuing over to the other side of the house, and you've just ran some bootleg shit to try to jack some shit up, that's kind of considered a scab. And a home inspector is going to want that corrected. Hey, that's not the correct way to do that. We need these joists ran. So that's why this job got way bigger than it was initially starting out as. And it's a shit ton of work these guys are over there doing. But let me get back to the argument that I had with this worker, right? So once I learned that the jacks weren't no good at all, now I really feel dumb. I'm like, damn, I'm arguing with this guy over something that he's correct about. It is a bunch of jack leg work up under the house. But you still ain't going to talk to me like shit. You know what I mean? You ain't going to talk to me like shit. I don't give a fuck who you are. Not when I'm the goddamn boss. Or, I'm the guy that you better be trying to make it look like you're working in front of. Especially with all this goddamn money I'm shelling out. Needless to say, I would end up apologizing to this guy because I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. He apologized to me. And like I said, he is my dude Sean's number one or number two. And dude is a hard fucking worker. He's done the sheetrock. He's done the windows, the door. And I mean, he knows this construction shit. So, he would carry on working. That type of shit happens, I imagine. Motherfuckers going to get to arguing on a job. But it's all about how you carry it after that. And I'm not going in there acting like I'm motherfucking, cracking the whip on motherfuckers. That ain't what I'm doing at all. I'm very. In fact, it's probably been a little bit of a weakness on my part. My wife tells me this all the time. She said, when it comes to business, you soft as a bitch. She's like, I don't mean you soft as a man, but you are just soft as a bitch when it comes to business. And she's right about that. And I'm trying to not be that. Steve DeRican says testosterone in the air. It's not that. It's just work, man. It's just work. Grow a backbone, Joe. So, yeah, that was how the day started off over there. But, it would continue going and going well. Rabbit showed up yesterday. Rabbit owes me, what you guys don't know, Rabbit owes me a lot of free labor. And yesterday was day number one of that. And, I mean, he told me this just last night. And, it's the damn truth. He was like, Joe, I don't care what I owe you. I'm going to pay it. He says, even if I didn't owe you, I'll be over there working for you. Like, I will be over there to help you out. And I know he will. And that shit was super fucking helpful. We had a lot of debris around that yard. That box truck is slam loaded. And I got to get ready to go dump that this morning by myself because I ain't got no help. And I don't want no help. Now, we were supposed to have something totally different going on yesterday. Yesterday it was supposed to be Connor coming over. He was going to help me with the HVAC, get that repaired. Jellico and Rabbit were going to be over there. We were going to be going underneath doing the vapor barrier and the mold treatment. But obviously all of that's put on hold because of where we currently are. No big deal. I'm not, bitching about it. This type of shit happens, right? But it only ended up being me and Rabbit over there. And then my contractor and his guys. And, we made a good day of it. We got some good shit done. But Red Sox fan says, no, I think you're just tired of everyone screwing you over. I've been beyond that. But, yes, absolutely, man. But, look, I guess I want to tell you about this other thing that took place yesterday that never made the video. And I was kind of on the fence about this. I've got a couple of stories that I want to share with you guys. I'm going to start with this one. I was on the fence about whether or not I was going to share this. Gorilla says, are you going to have to redo the ceiling? So the new sheetrock, hopefully not. I doubt we will. We are going to have some cracking in the sheetrock that can be repaired. But we're not. In the front room, we're just doing the walls. All the walls with the old sheetrock is coming down. And then in the back of the house, none of that sheetrock is getting taken down at all. We were going to go with the sand pattern swirl finish like on these walls right here. We're not. We're going back to knock down. Things are just constantly changing. Iceman says, what's going on with the cracks in the ceiling? What's crazy about that? Well, some of those cracks came yesterday from just trying to jack up. We did get about a half inch up, but we still got, and it was crazy because as they were tearing up more floor, the house started sinking even more. So really, as you start getting down into that shit, you can see that it's not even really the foundation that's holding shit up. It's like other shit, which is even worse. But needless to say, we're going to get it right. I know it sounds horrible. Foundations are, the worst that you can experience with the house. I might beg to differ on that, considering everything that we've experienced on this house. But we're going to get through this. I'm still optimistic we can get this done in 2 weeks, the whole house. So we'll see. All right. So, sorry, Steve the Rican, if I misspoke, forgive me. I feel like I'm smoking crack with this trade on this box truck. But you got to do what you got to do. I also been writing a song about the box truck. I might share that in a little while. Never again, absolutely. Good point. MTK says, how much TNT do you need? You better bet it. That's something. All right, let me start sharing some stories, folks. Crazy shit, man. The shit that you never see. So, yesterday, we're over at the house, me and Rabbit, contractor and company. So we're over there, and I get this message from a guy that I knew from prison, and I've talked to this guy a couple of times since being out. Me and this guy got out about the same time. He's been out for 5 years. He's been doing really well, working a good job, making good money, doing good in life. So, and he's a big-time follower of After Prison Show, especially the felon flipper shit. And what was interesting is, because this guy would come over yesterday, you would have thought I would have filmed. Joe, why didn't you film? I'll share that in a little bit. What was interesting is this guy was telling me, he was telling me a million different things, but one thing he was telling me was, he's super intrigued in the house. He wants to get into this type of shit. But he was also talking about YouTube and, the prison YouTube and all that. And he was like, man, I've learned so much about prison, especially in California, from these other prison YouTubers. And he's throwing out names that I've never even heard of. I'm sure you guys have heard of them, but he's like, yeah, man, I rock with this person and that person. I can't really remember their names. K-Frog? Never heard of this person. I think that was one of them. He's like, yeah, man, I've been learning so much. And I'm like, yeah, cool. Well, we're not talking about no fucking prison YouTube over here. We're trying to get a foundation repaired, but cool deal. Cool deal. J-Man, shout out to you for that gift sub, boy. Thank you very much. So, dude shows up, right? And if you want to talk about, I don't know how I'm going to word this and make this okay. You remember how Joe used to talk with the prison accent? Well, intensify the prison accent times about 1 million. You know what I mean? Times that, yeah, okay. Yeah, well, he was talking about Florida too, so that's why that K-Frog name came up. He was like, yeah, California and Florida. Times it by about 1 million. Now, mind you, I haven't seen this dude since prison. I've even shared stories about this dude from prison. I've even talked about him on the Bobo, but I'm not going to say the person's name. Good dude. Good dude. I rocked with this dude in prison, and that's it. So I haven't talked to this guy on the phone. I've only talked to this guy via Messenger. And he hits me up sporadically from time to time. Like when me and my wife were going through the IVF thing, he offered some really good words about that. Hey, man, I'm really sorry to hear what you're going through. Don't give up. Man, I appreciated that. When it comes to the videos, hit me up, man. It's crazy what you're going through, man. Fuck the trolls. That's what he always tells me, fuck the trolls. So he tells me that yesterday. He hits me up and he's like, yo, man, fuck the trolls, man. He was like, I ain't on no stalker shit. He was like, where y'all at? I want to come see the house. So I'm like, cool, no big deal. So I send him the address. And about an hour later, he comes over. Now, this dude is dressed like... dressed really nice, brand new stuff on. White dude, covered in tattoos, all golds in his mouth. You know what I mean? And he's looking good. That's his thing, that's his style, and he's looking good. No homo. And so he comes over there, and me and Rabbit are picking up trash in the front yard. And the first thing that I notice about dude is he's kind of nervous, right? And I get that. Look, you ain't seen somebody since prison. You're going to be nervous about the situation, or at least that's what I'm thinking. He's kind of nervous, whatever. So, I'm trying to make the dude feel welcome. Hey, man, I mean, you don't mind getting your hands dirty, do you? Come on and help us pick up some of this goddamn flooring. Which he does. So, no big deal. He's talking to me, and he's talking to me about all sorts of things. The YouTube thing, the house, this and that. But one thing that I can't help but notice is that he is talking super loud, right? And I'm like, damn, it's Sunday morning, probably close to 12 o'clock. And, even though it's, damn near noon, but you're talking loud and you're talking loud about crazy shit. And we're talking about, people. He knows the guy that I gave the $1,000 loan to, our moped rental guy by the name of Chris, who ended up fucking me over on that loan. Joe, why would you give a guy, and I knew this guy was getting high, but he had a job making $30 an hour. And he rented a moped, and he was the first person to successfully complete the moped transaction rental thing. So I knew it was kind of a bad idea giving him the money. Hell, I even filmed a video about it, but we never uploaded it. Oh my God, I'm about to give a crackhead $1,000. CB420 says, louder than you, Joe? Absolutely. So, he tells me that, when I gave this dude the loan, he knew the dude. He knew him. He went and brought the guy some groceries. Dude was bad off. And that whole situation spun out of control because this guy's girlfriend came home. They were just bad for each other. So, I don't know where this guy's at. Don't got no way to get in contact with him. You don't have a phone or whatever. So anyways, that's one of many crazy things that we're talking about. But I don't like the fact that this dude is talking so loud. I mean, like yelling. And I know that I yell. But like when we're over at the house, I'm not really yelling. I'm trying to have respect for the neighbors. Even if we begin cranking up them saws at about 6 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday, bitch, get your ass up and get ready for church. Oh, you ain't going to church today? So that's the first thing, the loudness. And I'm like, okay, yeah. Okay, I can hear you. Well, folks, another thing would happen yesterday that, okay, let's just go into it. So after about 20 minutes of listening to this dude talk, and mind you, not only is he talking loud, he's talking fast. It hits me. It's no longer that I think the guy was nervous coming over here. Seems like he might be on something. And I don't like that. I hate to think that because I just hate to think that. But whatever. And then, so that would be pretty much what was going on there. So to say that I didn't film with this guy, I mean, that's kind of the reason why. And who's to say he would even want to film? Elwood says, so you loaned him some money. I don't got no money to loan. I'm fucking trading. I'm bartering for the finish of the house. So at this point, I'm thinking to myself, well, fuck. Because now my general contractor, I've introduced him to him. Rabbit's seeing him. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, obviously this ain't a great situation. So I need to button this up and get the fuck up out of here. So that's what I do. After about 30 minutes, I tell the dude I got to go meet my wife, which I did. But I needed him to get up out of there too because it wasn't a good situation. We've already had a lot of negative shit happen at the house, and I don't want that type of stuff over there. And maybe if the guy wasn't, I don't know if he necessarily was doing anything or not, but I don't need much more. All I need is the thought that it could be happening, and I need to button it up. So that's what I did. Wrap that up, and yeah, I was kind of saddened by that. After he left, people would make a few comments to me saying, that they thought the same thing. And I'm doing this in a very nice way, okay? I'm trying to do this in the nicest possible way I can. I'm not really going in. So I said, yeah, I had that idea as well. That's why I wanted to try to, wrap it up. And that was the end of that. But as I was leaving, as I was leaving to go meet my wife, there's some kids. There's a lot of kids that play on the street. They play basketball and shit like that. So as I'm leaving, I see these kids all the time. They wave at me and shit. I'm riding by. We're talking about like 5 houses down. I'm riding by and they're like, APS! And I'm like, oh, man, this sucks, you know. Hey, thank you. But this sucks, you know. We're getting a little too close to home, literally. But, you know, they don't look like no trouble or nothing like that. They're just out there playing and shit, so good for them. We got some fans on the street. Maybe they'll keep their eyes out in case anything ever happens. So, there was that. When I got back, though, I said to Rabbit, maybe even my dude Sean, I said to probably both of them, I said, yo, can't anybody just not fucking get high? Can there be one person who doesn't do fucking drugs? You know what I'm saying? Like, just one. All I need is one person over here. Even if it's only myself, man. Why the fuck is everybody seeming like they're getting high? So, there was that. All right. Moving on. Today work is continuing over at the house. Joe's going to strap a GoPro to my chest. We're going to do a little bit of ASMR on a video. I'm basically just going to hang a GoPro from the back of the box truck because it's going to take me about an hour to clean that bitch out. So you'll be hearing a lot of backup alert beeps from the big bulldozer up at the landfill. Hear Joe cussing and screaming a little bit, probably cursing a few people who aren't there to help me, who haven't heard from in days, who have lied to me. More drama on the alert? Probably not. I'm over it. If it's fuck me, then it's fuck you too, it seems. But yeah, I'm thinking about doing a ASMR unloading the box truck video. So there's that. Busted Up, shout out to you for being sober a couple of months, still feel like getting high. You know, I actually thought about it on the toilet this morning. I was like, damn, maybe I should do it. But I couldn't do that. Indy Silver says you need a time-lapse camera in the house. Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and move on, folks. Couple of things to share with you guys. I got another crazy story to share with you, but it's way better than that one. And it has nothing to do with nothing. It's just a crazy story. All right, folks, I was talking to an awesome supporter of After Prison Show. I was put in contact with this person via Rabbit. Rabbit put me in contact with this dude. And me and him have been talking via Messenger a little bit. He's a Class A contractor, pretty far away. And he's offering a lot of insight and things. He wants to send me some Class A contractor books, right? Because I said, hey, you know, just for the fuck of it, because, I mean, I really ain't got no life outside of YouTube and flipping houses. I mean, why don't I just go take the Class A contractor's exam and become a Class A contractor? Then nobody can tell me that I don't know shit, and then I really do know shit, and then I don't even need a contractor. I'm the captain now. Then I can pay dudes $8 an hour because they'll never raise minimum wage to $15, and just point and click. Point and click. Right there. Right there. Check it out. Concrete underneath it, Class A contractor. You know what I'm saying? This is genius. This is a genius idea. So, with the mention of that, how about we do something that I was doing this morning? Folks, we're going to play a video game here on the Bobo. Don't leave just yet. Don't you dare leave just yet. Let's see how dumb Joe really is. Folks, I don't want your answers because I'm not going to listen to them only if they, here we go, fuck it. So we're going to take some free contractor practice exam test. Class A contractor, we can do up to $1 million. Maybe, I mean, we could do any work. So I'm sending my wife, not DB Cooper, to get the real estate license. So we're going to be the whole team. We're going to be like Jenna Jameson and goddamn Jeremy, whatever his name is, like just a match made in heaven when it comes to that HGTV fix it or fuck it, literally. So, folks, we're going to take a free contractor's practice test. I don't know dick about dick, so how well do you think we'll do? In too deep, bye, goodbye. Get the fuck out of here. All right. here we go, folks. See, now. So this is the same test that I took this morning. Ron Jeremy, that was it. I took this test this morning, and I'm not going to lie to you. I had a 50%. There's 10 questions. I got 5 right and 5 wrong. But these are the type of questions, I guess, that they're asking you on the Class A contractor test. You know, cash plus other assets which can be immediately converted to cash should equal or exceed the current liabilities is called what? Well, I already know the answer to this. So I'm going to share with you my thinking on this. It's not expendables. Okay, that was like something that was like that. I was like, well, I thought that it was called a liquidity test. Okay? Because you're talking about cash and other assets which can be converted, which means liquidizing, right? So I put liquidity test. And don't that sound like that's right? Iceman, guess what? You're wrong. It's called an acid test. I learned that. So I guess to be a Class A contractor, you got to dip that LSD, though. Acid test? Acid sounds like it burns shit, but maybe that's what's happening when you're burning down the light bulb. Burning down the light bulb, you're going to need that acidity test to burn down all your assets. Next question. Equipment, which can be used to manufacture a product, provide a service, or used to sell, store, or deliver merchandise, is called a drug empire? I mean, because that's what this shit sounds like right here. So is it fixed equipment? Well, it can't be fixed equipment if we're going to use it to fucking deliver. How you going to deliver with fixed? Is it capital equipment, asset-based equipment, or primary equipment? Well, it doesn't sound like it's fixed or it's primary. See, this is why I should have been smart, because I know how to do like process of elimination, right? So I knew that it was between either capital equipment or asset-based equipment. And I think I put asset-based equipment, and I guessed. And guess what? It was wrong. It's called capital equipment. God damn, this shit's hard. This shit's hard. See, y'all getting it wrong too. Billy got it right, though. Shout out to Billy. A voluntary organization. Now, I knew this one because this is what After Prison Show was set up as. A voluntary organization or person, either actual individuals or legal entities legally bound to form a business empire, is called a corporation. Okay? That's what it is. I don't give a fuck about your limited partnership, your general partnership, or a company. It's a goddamn corporation. I got that one right. Amounts owed that will ordinarily be paid by a firm within a year is called... This is confusing. We can't read it, Joe? How can you not read it? I can see it. Shit me. Nah, you can read it. You just be trolling, though. All right, so this one really tricked me up right here. Amounts owed that are going to be paid within a year. I thought it was going to be called a calendar year liabilities because I don't think that's forced. I mean, I don't know. All of these sounded good. So I went with what I thought was right, and it was calendar year, and boom, it was wrong. It's called current liabilities. Current liabilities busted up. You knew it. An itemized statement which lists the total assets and total liabilities of a given business to portray a net worth at any given moment in time is called, I mean, this seems pretty easy to me. I said balance sheet because we're talking about an itemized statement. That sounds about the best to me. And guess what? I got that one right. All them other ones sounded stupid. A term used to designate the reported net income of a corporation plus amounts charged off for depreciation, depletion, amortization, and extraordinary charges to reserves, which are bookkeeping deductions and not actually paid out in cash, is called, So, I knew we ain't talking about the current assets. I knew we was talking about some sort of profits, okay? Because we're talking about net income, okay? And I want to say that my dumb ass put like either cash flow. I think I put cash flow and that was wrong. It was, I put net profit and yeah, it's cash flow. So if you didn't know what cash flow is, it's a term used to designate the reported net income of a corporation, plus all sorts of other shit. Cash flow, folks. You're going to learn more from me than Harvard. Why ain't y'all paying me a tuition? Where's my tenure at? Make sure y'all subscribe to the Bobo. Number 7, there's only 3 more questions if you're bored. A method used to determine the point at which the business will neither make a profit nor incur a loss is called, this sounds like a break-even analysis to me, a hit or miss analysis. I said break even, and that was right. If we ain't making a profit and we ain't incurring no loss, well, guess what we about to do, folks? We're going to break even. Number 8, and this is a Class A contractor's licensing exam practice test. We ain't talked about foot versus inches not once in here. Should you measure twice and cut once, or should you cut twice and measure once? A scheduling of accounts receivable according to the length of time in which they've been outstanding is called, it's not a shortage. It could have been collections. Aging receivables didn't sound right. I said that it was accounts in the rears. Because if we're talking about an outstanding debt, that sounds like accounts in the rears to me. And guess what, folks? Because Joe's so smart, you already know I got that shit wrong. It's really called aging receivables. Aging receivables. Iceman, you on this shit, man. See, this is going to prove right here who really knows what they talking about. So from now on, before you leave a comment on a video, you better take this goddamn practice exam and show me. Iceman can comment all he wants. Oak Crest, you as well. Everybody OSHA certified in the comments section. The owner's equity in a given business, I don't know why I had to say equity like that, in a given business represented by the excess of the total assets over the total amounts owning to outside creditors, total liabilities. I don't know why you didn't just say that from the start. At any given moment is called, surely sounds like your net worth. Boom. Total liabilities, all your assets, total liabilities equals your net worth. I've gotten 4 right and 4 wrong so far. Oh, I've gotten 5 right and 4 wrong. See, I told you I did the exact same that I did on this test earlier. Cash or other items that will normally be turned into cash within 1 year is called forward cash sounds really good right there. Operations, you out the window. Current assets, that sounds like it could be good. Receivables, I can't remember what I put on this one. Cash or other items that will normally be turned into cash within 1 year are called, shouldn't it be is called? I'm going to call it current assets. Boom. I did better this time. I got 6. Oh, yeah, that's because one of them I accidentally put the right answer. Yeah, so current assets, boom. This is actually what we discussed in Finance 301 when studying for your bachelor's, your business something. Your BDSM. Isn't that kinky? I didn't know you could study for that. So I'm thinking about that, right? Now, granted, I didn't do too well on that. Definitely need to do a lot of studying because that doesn't sound like very much of an exam. Now, when I did the research on what you need to do, you got to take like an 8-hour class, a pre-exam class. You probably need to put some college credits up underneath you. You can do it at any kind of like trade school, I imagine. But I'm thinking about doing it. That way people will stop saying that I'm so fucking ugly and stupid. You can't tell me shit when I get the Class A contractor's license. I'm going to go get me a gold rope chain and put my little OSHA certified forklift safety driver card on that shit. And my life alert. Whoa. Shut the fuck up. I'm a Class A contractor. I already know what you're talking about. I know what you're thinking. I ought to do a video on that. What a Class A contractor be like for real. Whoa. Shh. Drop your pants and pull your wallet out. Because you about to get Silly Willie says it's not going to help the ugliness. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Silly Willie, listen to me, man. How many times in your life, maybe never, but how many times in your life has a girl ever asked you what you like about them? Okay? What do you like about me? Well, shit. You're smart. You're funny. Hey, smart is where I was going with this conversation. Makes you attractive. A college education and a high school diploma, it makes you attractive. Picture this. Let me put a little thought in your mind. You weigh 4,000 pounds, 2 tons, 2 metric fucking tons. You weigh as much as a humpback whale. I don't know how much a whale weighs. But you got a goddamn college education. You got a career. You meet a guy on Prisoner Pen Pal. He don't drive. All he does is work out for a living. I mean, he has to. He's locked up. And let me tell you something. That education is going to make you the most attractive person in the world to him. I ought to do a video, top 10 craziest fucking things I ever saw in the visitation room. Coming in at number 1 would have to be this young boy and his girlfriend. And I've shared this story before. This dude he had to be in his 20s. Country bumpkin type of a dude. He was an AB dude as well. He was actually like the AB, the AC/DC, because you put a battery in his back. And I mean, they crash test dummy. You just wind him up like the Energizer Bunny, and he will go get his ass kicked for the club. He will. Saw it happen many a times. Saw this guy try to fight a Crip dude. Crip dude was asleep in his bed. They stole all the commissary from AC/DC. And he had to do something. Retaliation was a must. Put a battery in his back, winded him up like the Energizer Bunny, and he just went around swinging that goddamn lock in a sock and hit that Crip dude, nicknamed Bird, while he was asleep, somewhere in the torso or chest area. Bong. This dude, Bird, jumped up out of the bed. I mean, he literally looked like he got hit with the defibrillator. And it wasn't because of how much that hit probably hurt. It was probably from pure T shock that something like this actually happened at a level 2. This dude literally jumped out the bed like the defibrillator. I mean, completely just straight up. Boom! Off the bed. Somehow he landed on his feet, throwing them dick beaters like a goddamn Gatling gun. And beat the shit out of dude. I had a front row seat to that event. I had courtside seats. Boy, it was a hell of an experience to witness. So, you'll see that type of shit, though. You will. You'll see the Crips named Bird and the Bloods named stupid shit, man. Capone. Just crazy, man. Hold the Beretta raised a really valid point right there. In California, the convict code says no attacking no attacking while sleeping. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, that is a bitch ass way to go for real. All right, Iceman says, "What's the topic of today's video?" I got no fucking idea. All we got in the video is all we got in the Bammer is some booty. Some booty-ass prison news stories. I mean, these shits smell like, stinking booty. They're not that great. I don't even like them anymore. That's why yesterday I went and filmed and uploaded on the same day. Same fucking day. I'm done with the prison content. I swear to God I am. And it is what it is. I'm just going to do... God, I really went crazy with this, didn't I? I didn't mean to do this. But it is what it is. The house takes precedent over everything. I've got a lot tied up in that. So, could be me unloading a truck. It could be, I thought about doing a Touch 'em 2 times Tommy video. I'm going to share something with you that I'm getting ready to start this week. I say I'm done with prison content, but I'm not. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to start sitting in the chair acting like different either prison YouTubers, just straight frying their ass, or just acting like randos and just telling made-up prison stories. And one of them is going to be Touch 'em 2 times Tommy. Somebody made a comment about that. So I was thinking about, and like I was just gonna do some stupid shit, you know. Hey, touch up 2 times, Tommy. Basically, I'm just sitting here to see how long I could draw this video out for as many ad breaks, the breaks in the ads as I possibly can. I don't give a fuck about this, but I want to do all of my videos when I do this. Bear with me now, and I hate that I'm getting ready to advertise. I want to do all of my videos, all of the reenactments.
Now, before I even bite into it,
Hey, don't, shut up. I didn't tell you to speak. All right, I want to do all of my videos. We don't need to listen to these words. They're probably all lies anyways. I want to do all of my videos like Mike the Situation, doing prison story videos. So I'm going to be in the dark. Maybe we'll have some reenactments. I don't need all that. What is this, Dateline? I don't know if I'm going to go for all of that. But look, I mean, we got this dude in a jumpsuit, though. I got like 20 of those. I don't need the emotes. We can do away with those. But definitely sitting in the dark and just making it up as I go. I can see by his eyes, even though he's sitting in the dark, this shit is a fucking lie. So my first video, I'm going to act like I'm Mike the Situation. I need the pool floaty sent ASAP. So I can look like I've been, using steroids as hair gel. And I'm going to be like, look, Mike, the situation here, the Swiss Army knife, that's what they called me in prison. I was very flexible. 8 months, good gosh. Quit busting my balls, 8 months. 8 months. 8 months is a long time. It's like 8 life sentences, what it felt like. Look at the eyes. They're just bee little eyes. It was a perfect 8 months. I hate this guy. I mean, really, I do. But I just want to make fun of him. You can't trust anybody in federal prison. You probably couldn't have been trusted. Oh, yeah, shit, I'm going to write you. Hey, homeboy, I'm going to write you, though. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. This dude K-Frog does skits. I wonder where they got that from. But I got a couple of different ideas, but mostly it's probably just going to be house shit. I got a couple of prison news stories that I want to share with you guys. Not here on the Bobo, but in videos. So there's that. I will tell you this, though. There is a video that's coming this week that I just ran across. This is a video from a long fucking time ago that we never uploaded. Iceman said you got to start interviewing other types of criminals, bank robbers, shit like that. Well, speaking of interviews, this video that I'm telling you guys about is it is an interview video. I talked about this video a long time ago. We filmed this video a long time ago, back during the time of Richie and Jeremy and introduction of Dave with the dreads, certified HVAC mechanic, electrical contractor. So there's that. But this guy's name was Herman. Older black fella. Very nice guy. Struggled with addiction for most of his life. He's got some crazy stories about addiction. I was actually looking through my phone today trying to find his number because I never got a chance to, one, do anything with the video. I didn't like the video. I didn't like it because it was only me by myself doing the filming, so the shots they're not perfect. And then the guy was he wasn't the easiest person to film because he didn't talk the best. But he does got a crazy story. This guy suffered from addiction for a long time, got jumped behind his addiction, trying to cop more crack with no money. He shares that story in the interview. He's done a lot of time in a lot of crazy prisons, done a lot of time in California. He was raised out in Oakland. And I don't really get no prison stories out of the dude. I would have loved to got some prison stories. I couldn't imagine the shit he could share with us. So that's why I was interested in getting in contact with this dude again. So, the reel says, show us a snippet. I don't even have it on this computer. It's on the other one. So there's that. Well, y'all asking about some weirdos. What's up with Angela? I don't fucking know. I don't even like that dude. what happened with Darnell. I see Darnell, just not seen him, but I saw him on Instagram. I'd like to get an update with him. I definitely haven't had a chance to do that. Kimberly said whatever happened to Austin after his interview. You know what's crazy is I talked about a video we filmed a couple of weeks ago, the top 25 after prison show videos, my favorites. Well, getting assaulted in prison, Austin's story, was one of those videos. The things that I never told you about some of these videos, like there's so many behind the scenes. Like I had to violate my probation to go get that video. We had to leave the state. We had to drive 7 hours down there just to go down there and film and then come back in the same day. Now, it's really not a violation because there is a kind of a loophole to leaving the state. If you leave and come back in the same day, it's technically considered work. But if you leave and you stay overnight, though, you was absconding. Well, that's why I mentioned it never again, because it's not really like it wasn't really like a bad thing. We drove 7 hours to go get the Austin video. He was down in South Carolina. Jesus Christ, this was a long ride. Cody had to drive the whole thing. I wasn't even driving then. Matter of fact, and it took even longer to get down there because we stopped by Mecklenburg, which is a field. We did that video on the way. Then we live streamed, and I had to make sure like I wasn't showing any road signs because I didn't want anybody to know I'd left the state. We spent like fucking 16 hours on the road that day just to go down here. And once we got down to South Carolina, we'd been on the road for like 9 hours at this point because like I said, we stopped at Mecklenburg and all that. So we get down there and dude's bullshit. He's acting like he don't want to meet us. Like he's worried that we might do something to him. And I'm like, man, because he don't know us from Adam. And I'm like, man, fuck, man. I'm like, listen, dude, we just drove 7 fucking hours to come get this goddamn video with you. Please come meet us. So he did. So he finally came and met us. We didn't have nowhere to film. We had to film at a park. It was 1,000 degrees that day. The cameras were overheating. There were boats going by in the back. We were at like a freaking RV park, right? People were walking by with their kids and shit. I was like, shut the fuck up about summertime. This man's talking about getting a bathing ape in prison. Carry your vacation elsewhere. This picnic table's off limits. Sorry. I get a little worked up talking about the past. But yeah, I mean, that was legitimately like, yo, hey, you can't come over here. This is off limits. Get the fuck. I don't give a fuck if it's the only grill around here. Bitch, you got an RV? Where's your propane tank at? Go cook that shit on a fucking roll of toilet paper. Take that shit to some prison time. Needless to say, the video came out good. I mean, the story, you could not think of a crazier fucking story. So after the video went up, I had like one time that I was in contact with this dude. And he was so far away, I was just like, yo, fuck it. I mean, we got the video. I paid him for the video. Look, there ain't shit we can do. You're way the fuck down here. We're way up here. Can't really be making this ride. So I lost contact with him. Well, when I filmed the video just recently about the top 25, I went and I looked for this dude. I went and I looked for him. So I went back. I had to go back to my emails from 2017. I think it was July of 2017 to find this interview. I mean, to find this email. I find the email. You know what? I got the email saved now that I found it. Only on the Bobo. Folks, make sure in the comments section of the videos you tell people, yo, y'all missing out on the Bobo. Come on. I said, oh, not that. Starred, not sent. I was like, what the fuck? Starred. Sent. I mean, starred. All right, here we go. Starred. What the fuck? I thought I started. Okay, well, sent, because I know I sent it. Come on. Bingo. Okay, I will read to you the emails. Now, mind you, when I found the emails, I've tried to email back, and what it tells me now is address not found. Your message wasn't delivered because the address couldn't be found or is unusable to receive the mail. How do you delete an email? So, the email from Austin began, this was on July the 17th, 2017, on a Monday. He says, I have a story to tell. That was it. That was it. So I hit him back and I was like, hey there, thank you for reaching out. And I'd like to hear more about what your story is. How long did you serve and how long you've been home? And most importantly, what's life been like for you since being home? If interested, I look forward to hearing back from you. So here we go, folks. About to read you this book. Because, boy, when I said, hey, tell me a little bit about yourself, this dude told me everything. He said, hi, yes, my name is Austin. I'm 26 years old, and I would love to share my story with you. Back in 2013, in early May, I had been struggling with drinking and recently been reunited with my biological brother after 19 years, 6 years of searching. My God, we got a lot of details in this. Sick boy said, whatever happened to the cat? She's doing great. After 6 years of searching and it didn't turn out how I imagined. It was time for me to head back home from Georgia to Fort Mill, South Carolina, where at the age of 21, I'd been asking my parents for temporary housing until I could get back on my own. Both of them agreed, though they were unaware of my drinking problem and inner emotion depression I was facing. I sat outside by the lake outside my house many nights looking up at the stars, wondering what my purpose is. Why can I not seem to find where I belong in this world? Days later, it's the middle of May, and I hear my parents say, Austin, you need to get a job or school. What do you want to do with your future? Repeatedly over and over in my head, it got to the point to where all I wanted to do was to finally make them proud of me, the oddball, adopted, outcast, untalented, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, 21-year-old boy that they adopted. Folks, we ain't even one paragraph into this email. Y'all sure y'all want the rest of this? Jesus Christ. Let me get down to the goods. Well, that's not very good. Okay. It was raining and about 12:30-ish at this time. For some reason, I took my keys, started my car, and proceeded to drive for 45 minutes back to my parents' house wasted. There's a news video if you Google my name and car accident online to better clarify. But I ended up driving 90 miles an hour in the wrong direction. A completely sober 36-year-old man was on his way home from his job as a bartender, ironically, and was killed almost instantly upon impact as I was myself. He was killed. Austin was almost killed. He was not revived. However, for some reason, I was with critical injuries. I was vacated or whatever to the hospital with only minutes to live. My parents were called. They were told that I was in an accident. And then you guys know the rest from the video. It's a lot. I mean, it is a lot. He leaves his cell phone number on here. I've tried to hit that number up. That number is all but doesn't work. I even looked him up on Ben Verified. Could not find him. Found him under another name. With pictures to go. But I cannot find this dude. So, Metavact. Something like that. That right there. All right, folks, I got to go ahead and wrap this thing up. I got to figure out what we got going on for today. Probably a prison-related news story because I've got that almost done. It's not one of our stronger videos, I'll be honest with you. I'm trying to bring you guys the very best that I possibly can. I got a lot of ideas for a lot of different things, but there's a lot of things that are going on at the same time. So it's it's been a very tough course to traverse, trying to keep everything juggled. You know what I mean? Like, we got a lot of balls in the air right now. No pun intended. So, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for taking the time to rock with the Bobo. And I look forward to bringing you guys an awesome video a little bit later on today, or the best of what we got for sure. And I'll also be getting some filming done today. I got a box truck to go unload. If anybody's available and you're near me, please hit me up. I damn sure could use some help. Probably got at least 2,000 pounds of flooring up in there. So, have a great one, folks. Thank you so much for rocking with the Bobo on this Monday morning. It is my hope that within the next day or so, we've got this house jacked up to where it needs to be, the foundation getting squared away the way that it needs to be. We can start addressing the plumbing, and then we can start addressing the floors and work our way up. Hopefully, we're going to get where we need to be. We've added another week to the deadline, and hopefully that's going to be enough to get us there. Folks, have a great one. Thank you so much for taking the time. I look forward to talking with you guys again later. And until then, peace.